is a Dominic advert on the north end of the village, and because it's north facing, colours are much better preserved. That deep blue is the traditional Dominic colour, and it's very hard to replicate. You can see the way a wall's been built, the chimneys been put into it. The French don't seem to worry very much about that kind of thing. The only other thing that's not clear at all is if it was all, once upon a time, a big long Dubonnet and then they superimposed Van Tonique on top of it, or if it was originally meant to be like that. Okay, well, essentially this is French publicity on walls, which has always appealed to me as being part of French holidays to get into France and see. The advertising primarily for drinks, and primarily out of the drinks for Dubonnet is the main candidate for that. And I have been taking photographs of these of late because I noticed that they had been fading away, and it interests me, and I feel that it's part of French heritage. And so this has become a sort of minor crusade for me to hunt down these adverts and photograph them. In 1993 the French government passed a law banning publicity for tobacco and drinks, and so this publicity, which has been there for about 50 years approximately, has languished for the last 15 years and has faded greatly. The trouble with these images is that they are put on what used to be arterial roads before autoroutes and national roads were constructed. So at the entrance to each village, both going north and going south, you would have adverts on gable walls. The people would be paid for these, and once they were up, then somebody, it's not known if it was Dubonnet or local sign writers, would keep them in order. Normally the ones that are on south facing walls, because they're much more exposed to the sun, tend to be very faded these days. Ones on north facing walls, on the other hand, are usually quite well preserved. The French don't really take any interest in this at all. They just regard it not as part of their heritage, but as a thing to be either painted over or just left to fall into desuetude. I think they should be protected in the sense that they should have some sort of framework put around them and something to indicate that they're there and that you must not put up any publicity on top of that, because part of the problem, certainly with the red Dubonnet, was that there's a lot of fly posting when it goes on that. I've already cleared that off once, been to the mairie, asked them if we could have something put up there, and they didn't express any interest at all. And so it would be helpful if there was some sort of arrangement whereby such as there is preserved but not updated, I think.